Was it all in vain? All life through, must I go on pretending? Where is my happy ending? Where are you?
I am woman, you are man. I am smaller, so you can be taller than. You are strong to my touch. It's a feeling I like feeling very much. You are someone that I have long admired. Still our friendship leaves something to be desired. Doesn't take more explanation than this. I am woman, you are man. Let's kiss. I got a feeling underneath that little halo on your noble head, there lies a thought or two the devil might be interested to know. You're like the finish of a novel that I'll finally have to take to bed. You fascinate me so. I feel like Christopher Columbus when I'm close enough to contemplate the sweet geography descending from your eyebrow to your toe. The possibilities are more than I can possibly enumerate, because you fascinate me so. So sermonize and preach to me. Make your sanctimonious little speech to me. Not that I'll listen. Oh, my darling, you'll forgive my inability.
Do I have to, should I stay for the record, or?
Doesn't matter. I'll just, at the beginning, there's a request for continuances and withdrawal, so I'll just ask that.
Okay.
Or just announce it.
Great.
Are you ready? Good morning. My name is Susan Reardon. I'm the staff hearing officer, and I call the meeting of Wednesday, April 7th to order. Today we have 4 items on the agenda. There's 3 time extensions on the consent calendar and 1 project. And the applicant has requested a continuance of the time extensions excuse me, to April 21st. And so I'll grant that continuance, so we'll see you back next week. Is there any announcements or appeals? No? Okay. Is there anybody in the audience who would like to address the staff hearing officer on items not on the agenda today? No? Seeing no one, we'll go to the first item. Item 3A, which is 32 Rosemary Lane. If the applicants would like to come up to the table.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Anytime you're ready, Bob.
Thank you very much. The project site, which is 13,375 square feet, shaped like this. On the cul-de-sac of Rosemary Lane, current development on site consists of a single-family residence with an attached garage with access here off Rosemary. There's also a detached accessory structure located about 2.5 feet off the property line. It was approved in 1999 with a modification for its current location. The proposed project involves the demolition of an illegal patio cover here off the back of the garage and replacement with a new architecturally appropriate structure that will actually connect to the accessory structure and provide a covered entry for the accessory building, which currently, right now, is exposed to the elements. Staff's position that I think it was 64 square feet of cover being proposed within the setback secures an appropriate improvement in that it will match the existing roof line of the accessory structure, connects the buildings, provides, again, a patio structure for the property. And because the area proposed within the setback is small, it will not encourage congregation. The purpose and intent of a setback is to provide separation between neighboring residential properties. This small amount located within the setback should not violate the purpose or intent of the ordinance language. Staff is asking for approval of this structure within the setback as proposed.
Great. Thank you. I don't think I have any questions at this time. If you'd like to state your name for the record and add any additional comments you may have.
Well, I'm Lynn Krieger, one of the owners here, and the only thing I would say is I think we have no disagreements with the staff report. We appreciate the time that was put into that. And there should be an email, I think, in the record from the neighbor on this side who has no objection either to this project. It was attached to the staff report that we got in the mail. So we're just trying to improve this property little by little. It's a very nice street, which you've seen, very tidy street. We bought this house out of probate. It was kind of a mess. So little by little, we took care of the front first. Now we're trying to finish up the back and clean it up totally.
Okay. In terms of the single-family design board.
You didn't give your name. Sorry.
I'm Paul Krieger.
Thank you for meeting me at the site yesterday. When I was there, you were there.
Yeah, thank you.
The staff hearing officer, the single-family design board minutes state it's continued definitely to the staff hearing officer and return to consent calendar with the following comments. A couple of them. One was correct the drawings to have no overhang on the east side.
Right.
And then also the fence and gate are removed from the proposal.
Right.
Can you explain those to me? There's the elevations too.
There is an existing gate, which you probably saw yesterday, right about here. Mm-hmm. And originally, the architect assumed that we would be replacing that fence and gate, but there's really not any need to, so we don't plan to do that. Oh, yeah, right here. Okay. So that just was X'd out, I guess, not on this particular plan. And what was the overhang? There was like a ridge beam that came down and extended a little beyond the roof, and that's not there anymore because this whole side is flat due to fire concerns.
Okay, so
As shown here.
Right.
So there won't be any
that's-
eave projection
that's gone
past
now
the
from
post.
here. Right.
okay.
Right. And that's it.
Right, and then the extent of the overhang in this area. So here's the existing accessory structure.
Right.
And here's the existing house.
The garage.
Or
right.
the garage, and then the house.
Right.
The roof, the awning, or what, is this outline here, correct?
Correct.
Here.
Right.
And then
Plus this.
so it extends past the house towards
Well,
the front?
This just allows, because you have all these angles coming together, it allows for a little cricket for the runoff. I mean, what they were trying to do is make this so that it has to join. We've got an angle here going this way, an angle here going this way, and up here going down, to have it merge in a way that works well, so you don't have a spout created, that you have some runoff going here with a gutter system and so forth, so that it all works and looks decent. This extends the ridge of the roof line of the of this accessory building,
Right.
so that it looks decent. You know, when you're coming up that side sidewalk, you don't have this cockeyed look.
And so this couldn't be pushed back to be flush with the face of the building?
Well, the face of the building is back.
No, of the residence?
Well, that's where it is.
Well, no, the face of the garage is right here. Well, because this roof comes up to here, there has to be a way to join these. I mean, it would be odd. I mean, we'd have to go back to the architect and come back for another hearing, but they were just trying to make it look decent. Now, we've had our roofer out to look at it, who redid this whole roof, and is actually going to redo this roof now to match. And the architect's been out a couple of times, and they just thought this was the best solution
Right.
to make the roof lines work together. That's not a very big distance. It's 3 feet, I think. So,
That's 5.
yeah, or 5 feet,
3
4
plus
inches.
5,
Yeah.
4. No.
So it's, like this part of the table.
Well, actually, first I'm going to open the public hearing. But there's no one in the audience, but I need to.
Right.
So I'm going to open the public hearing. Is there anybody here who would like to address the staff hearing officer on 32 Rosemary Lane? There's no one in the audience. We did receive a letter from Miss Paula Westbury stating concerns with the project. You might have received a copy.
We did.
Okay, so I will close the public hearing. I went out to the site, like I said, and I met your husband, and he was very nice, showed me around, explained the project. And the findings I need to make is that it's consistent with the purposes and intent of the zoning ordinance, and it secures an appropriate improvement. And what you've stated in your letter is the purpose is to provide cover walkway between the garage and the house and the
Right.
entryway. So that's why I question why this area is necessary. Since you are requesting a modification of the interior setback, I looked to see, the extent of it. Does it need to be that big? Could it be pulled back? And that's why I was doing all those questions.
Well,
Can I make a comment?
yeah, we didn't ask them to do it this way for this extended cover. They just thought for the design of that area that it worked the best. And it really doesn't affect anybody but us. So I would hate to go back and spend any more design money on this. It's such a minor detail.
Can I make one more comment?
Yeah.
One of the things that is important here is that when it comes this far, it shelters the area even better, because we get winds that come
We
in
do on that canyon.
and they come through here, and I found out that this is where a lot of the water comes down. And if it's back in that area, it will completely shelter that area. So that's, to me, because I'm going out there, I'm going in and out of this building all the time. When it rains, we get a lot of water coming in this area here, right next to the gate.
And it'll all be guttered, right? That's not shown
Yes,
on the plans.
right.
but
And
yeah.
this whole strip, well, we've got a
got
Google
a
Earth
picture.
picture, but this whole strip is a planted strip, and so the water will be going into that area.
Okay. The other,
Yeah, you're looking at the area.
Yeah, in this
right there.
area.
Right.
the other question was in regards to the other accessory structure that's on the site. I don't see it listed on the plan. I'm
Right.
not sure where it is in relation to the setbacks.
Oh, it's within the setback. I wrote an email. We were out of town, but I wrote to Roxanne and said that it's, actually, we did come in and talk to somebody. You came and talked to a planner over the counter at the time we did that. It's a temporary playhouse. It's just built on wooden blocks, and our kids are old enough now. It needs to come out.
Needs to come out.
We just haven't gotten to it because we want to do all of this at once, pretty much. But it is over here, and it's just a temporary structure, and we got you the size. It was like 68 by 68, so there was no need for a permit, I think, is what you emailed back.
Okay,
Because of the size,
yeah.
but we need to get it out.
Right.
We know that.
Okay, so part of, if this is approved, part of the condition would be that be removed in conjunction with this project.
Right.
Yeah, we understand.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
The
the plan. Just haven't been able to get to it.
okay. The other question I had, yeah, here it is right here, shown enough.
Yeah.
Area is in regards to the accessory structure. This was approved through a modification process
Right.
several years ago. I think 99. And the plans, a lot of times they are just graphic. It's it's shown as a
Right.
rectangle and stuff. I've noticed when I was out there, there's looks like some things are tacked on in this side and this side. Was that part of the? I don't know if that's really the right word. I was trying to see. Is it?
I have a temporary. You mean right along here?
Yeah, and I thought there was
I-
one in the back.
I have a temporary, like
a cover with
cover
tarps.
because right there until we get this this thing done, I have it temporarily covered because there's a huge, well, not huge, but there's a box about this big, built out of wood, and inside it are tatami mats. These are Japanese tatami mats that are. We don't have any other place to store them right now, but
We're going to build some cabinets.
when we build this here, they can be moved from here over to here.
Okay.
It's
So I'll just include that as a condition too, that
That's fine.
the additional improvements in the setback would just be removed as part of the permit. And so
That's
that
right.
it can be all
Yeah,
included.
that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. So I can, once this is built, I don't know how this works, but once this is built, then I can take this down and move the stuff over here. Is that?
Yeah, you can
In a-
show.
in
Yeah,
a
you just
neat-
show the cabinets on the plan. Just move there and put
Okay.
Okay.
there, and that way it's all on the plan and it's clear.
Okay.
Okay.
So when we come in for the building permit, hopefully in another week.
And Roxanne's the one who. Ms. Lazo would be doing the plan check, so
Okay, good.
she's here. She's heard the discussion, so she understands what is meant.
Okay.
All right, so with that, I can make the findings outlined in the staff report and find that it's appropriate improvement on the lot. I originally had concerns with the extent of the roof overhang. Possible, I would like to encourage you to see if there's some way you can reduce that with the architect without incurring additional expense, but I can, through your discussion and explanation, I can understand why it was chosen to to propose it that way. So my approval is subject to the conditions. I want to revise that one that was in there. It talks about the size and location of that
Right.
detached storage shed, not unit.
Right.
That just
It'd be tough to live in there.
I know, it's very small. It's your mother-in-law quarters, and you can pick which mother-in-law. No, that the condition that the second detached storage shed be relocated out of the required setbacks in open yard.
Right.
So it's just that it's relocated. If you wanted to keep it and put it somewhere that was not within those areas, that's fine, but just remove it out of the required yard.
Yeah, well, you were there just so you understand how this lot is done. I mean, the whole house is kind of in the setback. And this area is so narrow and then it's all hilly that if we had put it out of the setback, which is why we came down to talk to somebody, it'd be in the middle of this. You couldn't even get up the hill. So,
Okay. Well, yeah, then
which
it'd
is
just
why
be
it was
removed.
temporary. Yeah.
Okay, and then those, I don't know what to call them, pop-outs or the storage sheds that are attached to this
Right.
accessory
Just a
building in the
cover
setback.
there.
Right.
Yeah, be removed out of
Okay.
the setback. And I can just leave it generic, just be removed, and then you can decide if you want to replace them somewhere or
Right.
what you want to do. Okay, so with that, with those two conditions, I approve the project. And
Thank you.
my action is appealable to the Planning Commission within 10 calendar days. And they also have oversight authority of all my actions. And if they felt this warranted additional discussion before them, they could call it up during that same 10-day
So 10
period.
calendar days.
Calendar days,
So
yes.
by the end of next week. We're not, our neighbors are kind of shocked, frankly, that we're going through this process for this.
for that,
So I'm not expecting we're going to have any, but, so we need to wait till the end of next week to apply for a building permit, or can we go
You
ahead
do
and
not.
apply?
We would
Okay.
allow you to go ahead and submit. Under no circumstances could it be issued within the
Right.
10-day appeal period.
Oh,
Probably
And
wouldn't
that's
be
just
ready
a,
anyway.
yeah, a risk that an applicant would take. But,
Correct.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So you're
good.
approved.
Thank
and
you.
that
Thank
was
you very
the
much.
Sure. That was the last and only item on today's agenda. So I adjourn the meeting.
Okay.
Thank